Hello, it's me again. Did you like and subscribe yet? Could you just do that? You could just do that. It will take like a second. Did you do it? Anyway, hi. Today we're going to talk about two topics. It's going to be very quick actually. But these are two really big ideas. So I'll go fast, but just kind of keep in your mind like this is kind of like an important idea. And if you take a higher level science or you go off to college and you're talking about this, you'll come back to this and be like, "Oh, yeah, that's really important. It's how you didn't tell us how important it was." And I'll be like, "Okay, sure I didn't. That's fine." Anyway, so we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about niche and keystone species. So a niche, it's a French word. I'll probably switch between both. Is kind of the job or role an organism has in nature. And no two organisms can occupy the same niche in the same place at the same time. Think about why for a second. And look at this picture. Oh, my head's in the way. But look at this picture and think about why. Uh, I mean, we didn't, you may not have done this. So look, all of these are little lizards. They all need a place to live, a place to find mates, a place to hide from predators, a place to make a nest, food to eat. They're probably like very similar in a lot of ways, making their nests in similar ways, climbing certain same ways, eating kind of similar things. Well, if this guy lives up at the top in this kind of, kind of not too sunny, not too shady, not too dry, not too wet area, maybe this guy would rather be in a drier area. But this one is better at living here. Okay, it's better at catching prey there. It's better at climbing to that part. It deals with, when it gets really dry, it deals with it better. So this one's stuck over here. So both of them can't live there at the same time if they're both trying to nest in the same place, eat the same food, hide from the same predators. One's going to be better than the other. So no two animals or plants or whatever can occupy the same niche at the same time. It's like an animal's job. Okay, it's so if the habitat's their address, the niche is their job. We'll talk more in class about it, but I really encourage you to look stuff up about niche and what it is and how important this idea is in biology. And then what's a keystone species? Again, we'll talk about this in class and we'll do more in class. This is so important. It's such a big idea. In fact, I took a whole class about interactions between food chains and food webs that really was about basically like what happens when you remove a keystone species. That was an entire class. I'll be honest, it didn't need to be a whole class. It probably could have been like half a class or less, but whatever. So what is a keystone species? It's a species that others in the ecosystem depend on, and if it were removed, the ecosystem would be covered by all this stuff, would be changed dramatically, would potentially collapse. So sorry, my words got hidden. I should hold on, because this is gonna bother me if I don't change this. Sorry, sea otter, you're gonna get shrunk up. Okay, that the ecosystem would change dramatically. This right here is a picture of a keystone. This right here is a keystone in an arch. If you took that out, the whole arch will collapse. I'll show you something in class. It's just kind of silly, but it'll help you understand why they call it a keystone species. Here are some examples. Otters in rivers, wolves in forest areas. I'm going to show you a video. It's really cool. You can spoil it for yourself and look it up. But when wolves were removed from Yellowstone, the park changed. This is over 100 years ago. When they were reintroduced like 20, 30 years ago, the park changed. Everything about the park changed. What species were living there, how animals moved, what plants were growing. Things that the wolves didn't eat changed because they were brought back, because it caused a cascade of changes all over. In fact, like this thing I'm going to show you will show how the geology, the rock, and the river changed because the wolves were brought back. This is why it's so important that we preserve biodiversity. That means different living creatures. And we try not to destroy our ecosystem so bad, because when we remove one creature, like one of these ecosystem engineers, one of these keystone species, then we are going to dramatically alter that ecosystem, probably for the worst, unless there's another species that can somehow take that species niche. and there generally isn't. So that's what a keystone species is. That's what a niche is. And I hope that was short, and I hope that helps. Bye.